Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start with the second chapter, that is forms of business organization. Now, see, forms of business ownership. Now, what is this form? It means what are the ownership pattern you are going to have in your organization. Whether you are going to do business individually or you are going to do business with someone as a partner, or you are going to form a cooperative society or a company form of organization. So, all the different forms of organizations that a business can have, we are going to discuss in this chapter. And every single organization has certain advantages and limitations, so one has to be very careful when you are deciding about which form of organization you are going to have in your organization, form of ownership. The first one we are going to do today, that is sole proprietor. Now, what do you understand by this word sole? Sole means single, single means individual, proprietor you already know, owner. So when you are having a business where there is sole owner, there is only one individual who's the owner of the business, then it is known as sole proprietorship. Means I have started business and I don't have any partner, or I don't have anyone with whom I have to share my profits. I don't have anyone who is going to contribute capital because I'm the individual and I have alone started business. So if a person is wanting to start a business, I have an idea and I'm confident enough that I can earn profits by investing my capital, that I don't need anyone to join my business. I can start it whenever I feel like. So this is known as sole proprietorship. When a single individual is running business, he is bringing his personal resources in the organization and then he is doing business. So let us see what are the features of sole proprietorship. Number one is formation and closure. So you will be very happy to know that when you want to start a sole proprietorship form of organization, then usually you don't have any legal formality or a lengthy legal procedure, that's not there. Whenever you feel like starting a business, you can start your business organization. There are hardly, or there are very few legal formalities that a business has to do before you start up a organization. Then you want to close it anytime you feel like that the business is not turning into profits, or you are not in a position to run the business, or for any other personal or professional reason. Whenever you wish, like when the proprietor feels like it, or the decision making power is with the proprietor, he is the owner and he is the you can say god for this business, and whatever he will say will is going to happen. So when the sole proprietor wants to close his business, he can do it anytime. There is no permission that he needs to take from the government from any other party. So formation and closure of sole proprietorship business is very easy. It can be formed with limited or zero legal formalities, and anytime you want to shut it down, you want to turn it off, you can do that with, there's no more legal formalities that you have to enter into. Then the second point is about the liability. Now this is something new to you, limited and unlimited liability. Now what is limited and unlimited liability? I'll make you understand. Say I have invested 10,000 rupees in my share market. Now, if the share market collapse, like these days the share markets are collapsing because of COVID-19 situation. Now, if the share market collapse, what will be my maximum loss? My maximum loss will be 10,000 that I have invested. They cannot take my other personal assets which I am having. But when a person is doing sole proprietorship business, that person and business are one or the other same thing. You cannot differentiate a business and a sole proprietor. For example, if we say Mohan Traders, now Mohan Trader means that organization belongs to Mohan because he is the individual. He is the sole owner of that organization. So you cannot separate Mohan and his organization. We do treat business as a separate legal entity, but when we talk about sole proprietorship, they are one or the same individual. So if Mohan has taken, say, a bank loan of 30 lakh, now in order to pay that 30 lakh rupees, he is not in a position, say his business is going down, he has to repay a loan of rupees 30 lakh, and now he's closed his business, all his assets are sold, whatever he has in his business, all the business assets are sold, and he could fetch only 20 lakh rupees, so he has repaid a loan of 20 lakh. Now what bank will do? Bank will merge his personal assets as well. So even his house, his personal car, his jewelry, his other personal assets can be taken or can be merged for the repayment of business loan. So his liability is unlimited. So whenever a person has unlimited liability, means till he has anything with him, he'll be liable to pay the debt, whether that person, whether that asset belongs to him or to the organization. means a person has unlimited liability. He'll have to pay the loans that he has taken from the, he'll have to pay the liabilities that are there in the business, either from the business assets or from his personal assets. But a person has limited liability when your resources, personal resources, cannot be used for paying off business loans. That is there. So in sole proprietorship, the liability of a partner is unlimited. His personal assets too can be attached for paying the business liability. The third is very easy. He is the sole risk bearer and profit recipient, because he is the single owner, and owner is the one who takes all the profit and he is the one who will bear all the losses. So in case a firm is earning is any profit, all the profit belongs to sole proprietor. And if a firm, if organization is suffering a loss, all the loss will have to be borne by the sole proprietor. So he is the sole risk bearer and profit recipient. He is the individual who will take all the profits and he will bear all the risk. There is no one he can share his profits and losses with. Then the fourth point is control. Since he is the sole proprietor, he is the god for the organization, he is the, you can say, boss of the organization. So he has full control over the organization and his decisions are final. Whatever sole proprietor is saying is final for the organization, because it's his organization. He is the owner, he has invested his money, so he has all the power to take all the decisions for his organization. Whether those decisions are right for the organization or wrong, no one can question him, because this is his organization and he has full control and he has full power to take all the decisions of his organization. So in sole proprietorship, full control lies with whom? Full control lies with sole proprietor. Then there is no separate entity, like I was telling you, Mohan Trader and the business. Mohan and Mohan Trader means the same thing. Mohan Trader is the name that is given to business, but since he is the single owner, he will take all the profits and losses. Means Mohan and Mohan Trader, though they have, Mohan Traders has a separate legal entity. When we talk about business, then capital is treated as internal liability. But if we talk about the correct point, then the business does not have a separate legal entity. Mohan Trader and Mohan means one or the same thing. If you are say suing Mohan Trader, you are going to court and taking Mohan Trader there, then Mohan Trader means you are taking Mohan to court. You are suing Mohan, you are not suing Mohan Trader. They means the same thing. Then the next is business continuity. Now, sole proprietorship, the continuity of business is very poor. Now, why it is poor? Sole proprietor is the individual who is alone doing business. So, if anything, God forbids, happen to that sole proprietor, his death, he becomes insane, he's imprisoned, or there is any other reason when he is ill or into bad health, he is not able to do business, then the business is affected a lot, because he was the one who was taking all the decisions. He has all the information about the businesses, he knows how to do it. So if he is not there, the business might close. So this is one disadvantage or limitation, you can say, that in sole proprietorship the continuity of business is not there, because there is no other partner or there is no other person to take care of the business. And in such situation, there may be a chances that business is shut down if something happens to the proprietor. Now from the features only, we are going to bring out advantages and limitations. Now what are the advantages? Since he has full control over the business and he has to take all the decisions by himself, you don't need to ask anyone if you want to take decisions of your organization. So the decision making is very quick, because say there is an order that is coming up, you don't have to ask anyone whether you need to accept this order or not. So whether to accept this order or not, you have to decide. So quick decision making will be there. Then the second thing is confidentiality of information. Now see, you know, if you are going to leak out your business secrets, who will be going to be affected? You are going to put your business at risk, means you are going to put your money at risk, which no one is going to do. So in sole proprietor, since you know, if you leak out any information or you will give your business secrets to anyone, your business is going to be affected, means you are going to be affected. So in sole proprietorship, you will come to know, since there is single owner, the information is very information is kept confidential by the sole proprietor. He achieves it, but in other forms, there are chances that their confidential information might get leaked. Then the third is direct incentive. Now the sole proprietor knows that whatever profits are going to come, he is the sole recipient of all the profits. So now there is a direct incentive There is a direct motivation that is coming up, that if you will work hard, you are going to be benefit, not any other person. So this is a direct incentive that motivate every individual, every sole proprietor to work hard for the organization, because you know that you are going to earn at the end if the business is going to earn. Then the second, fourth is sense of accomplishment. Now, when you start your business, then you do it in order to stand on your feet, in order to prove the world that you have a sense of business, you can make profit, you can earn in business. So when you are doing it, you are earning profit, then a sense of accomplishment is there, that yes, you have accomplished something, you have achieved something, you are gaining something from the market, you are using your brain, you are making money in the business. So a sense of accomplishment is always there when an individual is doing business, because he is doing it individually. Alone he is handling things, so accomplishment will always come. Then it is ease of formation and closure. We have already discussed this is an advantage, because it is very easy to form and it is very easy to close. There are not much legal formalities a sole proprietor has to go through. Then comes the various limitations that are there of sole proprietor. Number one is limited resources. Yes, now individual, if he is doing business individually, he'll have to rely on all the resources that he has. He cannot take money from any other partner or any, because there is no one in his business. He is the individual who is alone doing business. So only resources what an individual or the proprietor has, he has to manage his business with his limited resources. He cannot ask money from anyone else. So this is limitation. Then limited life, because business continuity is not there. Unlimited liability, liability of proprietor is unlimited. His personal assets too can be used for paying firm's liability. Then the limited managerial ability. Now we said that he has full control on his decision making. He will not be guided by anyone. So sometimes, if even if sole proprietor is very much confident that all the decisions that he is taking are fruitful for his business, this may not be true. There can be a decision that a sole proprietor feels and is confident that it will be fruitful, but it goes on the other side and that puts his business at risk. So there is limited managerial ability. If your sole proprietor is able enough, he'll be able to expand his business, he'll be able to make more profits. But if his managerial abilities are poor, then he might lose all the money also that he has invested in the business. So these are the limitations of a sole proprietor. So just read this topic of sole proprietorship in your notebooks. Make notes and write down about the features and try to explain all these features as I have done, and you can make your theory points and make your notes accordingly. Then write down all the advantages, and then write down all the limitations of business studies. Thank you.